Hey everybody, this is your solving equations, adding and subtracting video. So make sure that this note page is in front of you. Make sure that you're copying down everything that you need to. So let's start off with the object of solving equations is to get the variable by itself, because if we get the variable by itself, we will have x equals an answer or y equals an answer, that type of thing. That's the point. So, for example, this is an equation. Remember this equation because you have an equal sign. That makes it an equation. Some of you say it has an answer. I'll take that. We want to get the z by itself. So the whole point is to say z equals something. So we're saying in this case z equals 3.2. And we're going to talk about how we're getting that. So the object is to get the variable by itself. Make sure you have that written down. Some facts are you must evaluate, that means solve, by doing the inverse operation. So these things should be very, very, very familiar to us. This is stuff we've talked about all year. Inverse means opposite. So for example, the opposite or the inverse of addition is subtraction, or we go the other way. The inverse of subtraction is addition. The inverse of multiplication, division. The inverse of division is multiplication. The inverse of your math teacher would be normal. Yes indeed. Okay, so an example. This is the one we started with. Z plus 12.2 equals 15.4. Same one we started with. We're going to get this answer, but we've got to realize how to do it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to say an equation, any equation has two sides. Has a left side, has a right side. Okay, any equation has two sides. That is super, super, super important. So I'm going to draw this line down the equal sign to show us that we have a left side, we have a right side. The whole point is our left side should equal our right side. They should both be the same thing. So this over here, whatever we find z to be, should end up being 15.4, just like this is 15.4. So we said up here we're going to do the inverse. You must evaluate by doing the inverse. So the inverse of addition is subtraction. Why are we subtracting here? We want to get the z by itself, right? We want this. Well, how do you get the z by itself? You got to get rid of what we started with. So let's go back for a second. We started with this. If the object is to get the variable by itself, z is the variable in this case, I've got to get rid of this. So here's my line saying I got a left and a right. To get rid of this, I'm doing the inverse. I'm subtracting it. Okay, so I've subtracted, so there's nothing here. But if I subtract it, I can't just subtract it and it's just, oh, life is good. Whatever I do to one side, you can finish that statement. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So if I subtract 12.2 here, I got to subtract 12.2 there. If I subtract those, that's where my 3.2 comes from. If I put this 3.2 back in for the z, what's that called? Putting a number back in for a variable. Substitution. If I substitute the 3.2 in for the z, that gets me 12.2. So if I put this 3.2 back in up here, plus 12.2, guess what happens? If I add those, I get 15.4. So the left side gives 15.4, and the right side is 15.4. That tells us that we're correct. The left side and the right side of the equation are the same. Very, very important that we have that cleared up. What do we not want to see? So non-examples aren't super important. However, in elementary school, you've seen this. Z plus 12.2 is 50.4. You just go backwards, right? Or you actually were doing the inverse, but you didn't realize it at the time. I don't want to see this because I need proof. This is not proof of anything. This is just proof that you can subtract. I need proof that you can get the variable by itself. Okay, so I don't want to see that. Show me proof you can get the variable by itself. All right, if you flip your paper over, there's an example here. So what I'd like you to do is hit pause and see if you can handle this one. Go ahead. Okay, so quick reminder here, variables are letters that represent numbers. So we use any letter in the alphabet. And the object of this whole thing is to get the variable by itself. So you should have those two things written down. If you have to pause to do that, do that. I'm going to divide this into two sides. The equation has a left and a right. So I want to get z by itself. It is a subtract of 14.6. So I want to get z by itself. I'm going to do the inverse. I'm going to add 14.6. That cancels out the 14.6, gives me what I want, the object here, which is z by itself. Whatever you do to one side, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I know most of you like to put the larger number on top, so I'm going to do that here. You don't have to. The 14.6 could be underneath, but remember something. When I add and subtract decimals, I got to line those guys up. All right, I got to line those guys up. So if you don't remember that, or no matter what, let's write this down. So hit pause and write that down. Then, when I want to subtract this, I'm missing a spot here. So a lot of us like to put a 0 in there, so that kind of balances everything out. I'm good with that. If you want to do that, great. First thing I'm going to do here is not to add anything. First thing I'm going to do is bring that stinking decimal down. Notice how my decimals are lined up. Make sure yours are too. If I add, this one's pretty simple. 8 and 0 is 8. 6 and 5 is 11. Carry the 1. 4 and 4 is 8. And our 1 comes down with us, giving us an answer of 18 and 18 hundredths. 18 and 18 hundredths for z. And remember, we could substitute this 18.18 in for z, and that will subtract to get 3.58. All right, last one. You need to hit pause and solve that yourself. Go ahead. So I separate the equation into two sides, left and right. I want to get the j by itself, so I do the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. When I do that, it cancels out the 8, gives me j. That's what we wanted. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. So remember here, look how I'm lining these up. A whole number definitely has a decimal, even though we don't see it. It is always to the right. So make sure that's plugged in there. If you want to add a 0 in, great. And the first step, again, decimal comes down. So now you can subtract 5 minus 0. That's pretty simple. And 12 minus 8 is 4, giving us j is 4.5, or 4 and 5 tenths. 4.5 or 4 and 5 tenths. Please rewind. Please go back. Please hit pause when you need to. These notes need to be perfect when you come to class because they're given to you. So that is your solving addition and subtraction equations video.